Have you ever found yourself, like, totally hooked on a reality show? Maybe even when you kind of know you shouldn't be.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's often because of that one character, right?
Right.
The one you just, love to hate.
The pot stir.
Exactly. The one who brings the drama, throws the shade, delivers those moments that make your jaw drop. You can't stand them, but honestly, you cannot look away.
It's the classic reality TV paradox, yeah.
Totally. And it always makes you think, like, how much of this is actually real? How much is genuine personality and how much is just a performance for the cameras?
That's the million-dollar question with these shows, isn't it?
Well, today we are diving deep into that whole phenomenon. We're focusing on someone whose name basically became drama, spectacle, high fashion.
You got to be talking about Christine Quinn.
Absolutely. The blonde bombshell from Netflix's Selling Sunset. For so many seasons, she was just the undisputed queen of that show.
No question. High fashion, cutting remarks, totally unapologetic attitude. She brought it all to the Oppenheim Group.
She really did leave a mark. So to unpack what made Christine so, well, captivating, and let's be honest, often incredibly polarizing, we're going to be looking at everything.
Okay.
We've got a timeline of her biggest dramas, behind-the-scenes reports about why she left, and even some raw fan reactions from places like Reddit.
Oh, Reddit reactions. That should be good. They don't hold back.
They really don't. So our mission today, we want to trace Christine's whole journey on the show, pinpoint those key moments that really defined her story,
Right.
explore why she eventually made that controversial exit, and then look at the aftermath, for her career, and for Selling Sunset itself.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. Peeling back the layers.
Exactly. Get ready to unpack reality, perception, and just pure entertainment.
Let's do it.
Okay, so let's unpack this right from the start. We're rewinding back to Series 1.
Yeah.
That hit Netflix, March 2019?
Yeah, filmed probably late 2018.
Right. That's when Christine Quinn first arrives on our screens. Made quite the impression straight away.
No.
So what was that initial dynamic like inside the O group, and how fast did that, the drama queen persona really kick in?
Well, it's fascinating, actually, how fast those lines got drawn, like right from the get-go.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Initially, Christine's introduced as best friends with Mary Fitzgerald. They were even roommates, apparently.
Yeah, wow. I forgot that detail.
Yeah, and that's super important because that bond, which looked pretty solid, it fractured really, really quickly.
Was the trigger?
Chrishell Stause showing up at the brokerage, that was the catalyst. Most of the group seemed kind of willing to give Chrishell a shot, the new girl.
Right.
But Christine, her disapproval was, like, immediate. You could feel it. It was like she sized her up instantly and just decided, nope, not a fan.
Setting the stage right there.
Totally. For what became, arguably, the show's biggest, longest-running feud, Christine was positioned, or maybe she positioned herself really strategically, as this super strong personality, someone not just unafraid of confrontation, but someone who almost seemed to, like, thrive on it, maybe even start it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which brings up that big question again, right? How much of that fiery start was just her genuine personality, and how much was maybe a calculated move, knowing what makes good reality TV, especially on a new show like that.
Knowing what gets you screen time.
Exactly. What gets people talking.
And it really didn't take long for things to actually explode, did it? We weren't waiting seasons for the fireworks.
Yeah, not at all. The first big clash, the one that really cemented her role early on, the one that made everyone sit up and pay attention.
The pool party. Gotta be.
The infamous Series 1 pool party. That's where Christine just screams fake at Chrishell.
So aggressive.
Yeah, and it was personal. You could see Chrishell was genuinely hurt, like tears and everything. And then Christine makes this dramatic exit saying, and I think this is a direct quote, "I'm not a kiss ass. I'm not fake. I'm not a pushover. I'm just not."
Wow. Drawing a line in the sand.
Totally. And the immediate fallout is crucial. Mary Fitzgerald, who we just said was her supposed best friend,
right?
She chooses to comfort Chrishell instead. Christine sees this, explicitly disapproves, calls it basically a betrayal.
Ouch.
And Mary's line to Chrishell, "I'm good friends with her, but I don't stand for that. Sure," that just seals it. That's the first major crack in the Mary-Christine friendship.
It really laid the groundwork for so much future drama between them.
Absolutely. Foundational stuff for the whole show's relationship dynamics.
Okay, so Series 1 establishes her as this fiery, confrontational force. Then we get to Series 2. Filmed fall 2019, landed May 2020. And this is where her personal life, specifically the engagement, really takes center stage. And it seems like this just throws gasoline on those already shifting friendships, right? while also showing off this, like, major financial upgrade.
Oh, absolutely. Season 2 opens with pure Christine Quinn spectacle. Grand entrance doesn't even cover it.
How so?
She arrives via private jet, steps out straight into a waiting Rolls-Royce. It's immediately signaling, I'm operating on a different level now.
Wow.
And then she drops the bombshell. She's engaged. Valentine's Day engagement to her tech boyfriend, Christian. And the details she shares are just extravagant. Maldives, Bordeaux, Capri, whirlwind trip.
Just casually drops that in.
Right. And what's really telling, underscoring that friendship shift we talked about, Mary Fitzgerald, the supposed BFF, hears the news secondhand. Not from Christine directly. That speaks volumes about the distance growing between them.
Yeah, it does.
And then Davina Potratz adds this little anecdote later about a dinner with Christine and Christian. Apparently, the tab was $3,000.
$3,000?
For 4 people. So like $750 a head. Just casually highlighting Christian's wealth, you know?
Subtly dropping the numbers.
Exactly. And of course, the fashion. Can't forget the fashion. The sequined gold blazer in the first episode. Always part of the performance.
So this new wealth, this high-profile relationship, it didn't exactly smooth things over with the others. It almost seemed like it gave her more ammunition.
That's a good way to put it. It didn't smooth anything over. If anything, it fueled more conflict. Episode 2 hits us with more direct confrontations.
Like what?
Well, Mary makes this really sharp observation. She points out how Christine judged her engagement to Romaine, saying it was too soon. But now Christine's engaged super quickly to Christian, classic pot calling the kettle black, right? And viewers definitely notice that hypocrisy.
Oh, yeah.
Then you get this really tense one-on-one between Chrishell and Christine. Chrishell basically says, look, I want minimal interaction with you. Let's just keep it professional.
Trying to set boundaries.
Exactly. But it just brings all that Series 1 stuff bubbling back up. Nothing's resolved. And Christine offers what the show kind of frames as a kind of apology.
Which usually means not a real apology.
Pretty much. Given her track record, it felt more like a strategic move to just, like, pause the tension for a second, not genuine regret.
So she's constantly in the middle of these complex social dynamics, not just reacting, but often seems like she's pulling the strings, stirring the pot, delivering the bad news. What's that tell us about her MO in the office?
Yeah, if you zoom out, you see this clear pattern, right? Christine's actions, personal or professional, they always create these big waves. They affect everyone.
Like the listing drama with Davina.
Exactly. Episode 3, she actually defends Davina against Jason and Brett over that huge listing. She makes a point, maybe a kind of valid point, that they wouldn't be so critical if it was Mary's listing. Hints at favoritism.
So she can form alliances when it suits her.
For sure. Temporarily, at least. But then in the same breath, she's gossiping about Amanza with Davina and Heather, so, you know, typical office politics fuel. But the really big thing in that episode, Christine tells Davina that Romaine doesn't want her at his and Mary's wedding, and she tells her at her engagement party venue tour.
Oh my God, brutal timing.
Super awkward. And Christine gets into it with Chrishell about it too. Chrishell's like, it's their wedding, the groom should be happy. Christine argues Davina's a person, deserves respect, you know, shows her kind of confrontational fairness thing, even if it makes everything worse.
And then sends out invites for her sexual cocktail party engagement bash.
Of course. Setting the stage for maximum drama, the tension isn't just building anymore. It's like the foundation of the show's story. These fights become whole character arcs.
And that engagement party definitely lived up to the hype, didn't it? It felt engineered for maximum impact, both on the guests and us watching.
Oh, 100%. Episode 4, the party itself, it's everything you'd expect from Christine. Fire dancers.
Seriously.
Yeah, fire dancers. And a zebra just like wandering around.
A zebra, okay, that's extra.
Totally. Pure spectacle, designed to cement that image of over-the-top luxury. And Chrishell, trying to be diplomatic, maybe just avoid the drama.
Yeah.
She declines the invite but sends red roses, which is described as a classy, if maybe slightly false touch.
Smart move, probably.
Probably. But the real drama explodes in episode 5, and it's back to Mary again.
What happened?
Mary confronts Christine at a showing, a $2.9 million listing on Kings Road. Not about the party, but because Christine told Davina she wasn't invited to Mary's wedding. Mary wanted to tell Davina herself, privately.
Okay, that's a valid reason to be upset.
Totally. But Christine gets defensive. She brings up Mary comforting Chrishell way back in season 1, twisting it into Mary being disloyal now.
Deflecting. Classic.
Completely. Mary's just done. She's frustrated, sees it's going nowhere, and just walks away.
Wow.
And the depth of that rift is clear when Chrishell asks Mary later, like, do you even want Christine at your wedding? And Mary just says flatly, I don't know.
That says it all, doesn't it?
It really does. It wasn't just about a guest list anymore. It was loyalty, betrayal, this whole public performance of friendship falling apart.
Okay, so the battle lines are firmly drawn.
Yeah.
Alliances and enemies clearly defined. And then episodes 6 and 7, things get even more personal.
Yeah.
The whole other woman rumor about her relationship with Christian amble. That felt like it crossed the line, didn't it?
Yeah, that was a definite shift. Moving from general office friction and old feuds to something deeply personal and accusatory.
How'd it play out?
Well, episode 6 starts with more of the usual Christine, Heather, and Davina gossiping. Christine's mocking Mary, questioning her loyalty again, really hammering that nail in the coffin of their friendship.
Any bright spots?
Actually, yeah, there's this brief, interesting moment where Christine is actually supportive to Amanda, encouraging her about her custody battle stuff. It's like a quick flash of a different side, but it gets buried pretty fast. Because the real bomb drops in episode 7 at Mary's bachelorette party, of all places.
Right.
Heather, maybe not meaning to stir the pot quite so much, tells Christine that Mary and Chrishell were talking about her relationship with Christian at an open house earlier.
Talking about what specifically?
Questioning if there was an overlap with Christian's ex, basically suggesting Christine might have been the other woman.
Okay, that's heavy.
Super heavy. Mary admits she did mention the possibility. Christine is, predictably, furious. You can see it. But, to her credit maybe, she doesn't blow up at the bachelorette party, she tables it.
But you know it's coming back.
Oh, absolutely. That kind of personal accusation, it was guaranteed to resurface, and probably explosively, added a whole new layer of raw personal drama.
And resurface it did. Big time. Leading to that huge blow up in episode 8. But weirdly, amidst all that fire, we actually got an apology. A real one. From Christine. That felt kind of out of character.
It was definitely notable. So yeah, the tension explodes exactly where you'd expect at Heather's Brucker's Open. Public setting, maximum eyeballs.
Perfect for the show.
Right. Mary and Christine have this massive argument. Mary's defense is basically, I only repeated stuff you told me, implying Christine was spreading rumors herself. Christine fires back, calling Mary judgmental.
Standard stuff for them by now.
Pretty much. Mary eventually leaves, clearly exhausted, but Christine keeps going, even after Mary's gone, makes that really harsh comment about how Mary looked like an idiot when she wasn't speaking clearly.
Yikes. That's rough.
Super rough. Chrishell jumps in to defend Mary, of course. Christine tries to backtrack slightly, saying she meant Mary looked like one, not was one.
A weak distinction, maybe.
Very weak. But then comes the surprising part. Later, Christine calls Mary for what she herself calls a legit apology.
Really?
Yeah. Admits she was being a total B and says, I feel stupid for that. It's this rare moment of vulnerability, maybe.
Huh. Makes you wonder.
Exactly. Was it genuine remorse or just another tactic? But it definitely stood out. A crack in the villain facade, maybe showing the complex person underneath. Or maybe just a strategic retreat. Hard to say.
Okay, so now we're heading into Series 3, filmed winter 2019. And this feels like where Christine doesn't just have a persona, she fully becomes it. Like leans right into the villain role.
Absolutely. She seems to embrace it, maybe even amplify it. And the consequences start feeling heavier, more real world, sometimes hurtful.
How does that manifest early in the season?
Well, episode 1 starts with this kind of meta-ironic moment. It's Christine's birthday party, surprisingly low-key compared to the engagement bash.
Oh, okay.
But there's a tarot reader there who, wait for it, describes Christine as not liking drama.
Well, on the irony.
Right. It's almost like a wink to the audience, like, we all know what's up. Then, episode 2, we get the iconic Botox and Burgers open house.
Oh, yeah, with the Quinn out burgers.
Exactly. Peak Christine theatricality, brilliant marketing, designed for buzz, totally over the top.
But the drama wasn't just for show, right? It started impacting her actual work.
Yeah, significantly. Yeah. She makes this pretty shocking move. Tours a massive $75 million listing with Christian, her husband, but doesn't tell Davina, who's the co-lister.
Oh, that's bad professionally.
Super bad. It leads to this incredibly awkward confrontation when the owner asks Davina about the tour, and Davina's completely blindsided, has no idea it even happened.
Mortifying for Davina.
Totally. And this is where that question gets really pointed. When does playing the reality TV character start seriously messing up your real-life job and relationships? The tension between Christine and Davina ramps up hugely here. It's not just personal anymore, it's professional betrayal.
Right, so the conflict isn't just targeted at Chrishell or Mary anymore. It's spreading, becoming almost systemic within the office, affecting listings, client trust, creating a pretty toxic environment, sounds like.
It really does seem that way.
But then something incredibly personal and painful happens to Chrishell, her divorce. And Christine's reaction, her involvement, that sparked major backlash. Felt like the audience drew a line.
Yeah, the office politics definitely continue in episodes 4 and 5. Davina actually confronts Christine about that secret house tour. It's not a huge screaming match, but it's significant that Davina stood up to her directly.
Good for Davina.
Then Christine's back to complaining with Maya and Heather about Jason favoring Mary with listings. Still feeling that brokerage friction. She even asks Maya about potentially leaving the O group.
Foreshadowing.
Totally. Meanwhile, she's planning her extravagant Gothic winter wonderland wedding. That contrast between her personal fantasy world and the office tension is stark.
Any other clashes?
Episode 5, at Chrishell's charity auction, Christine gets into this kind of pointless argument with Amanza. Seems like she could find conflict anywhere. And Mary accepts another apology from Christine, but it feels really half-hearted, like she's just tired of it all.
Understandable.
And this is the episode where the news of Chrishell's divorce breaks, setting the stage for Christine's most controversial moments yet.
Right, this is where things get really ugly. Christine's comments about the divorce,
Yeah.
they just felt different, way beyond playful banter or office rivalry, and the public reaction was immediate and intense.
This period is absolutely critical because the line between the on-screen character and real-life impact just gets completely obliterated. Many felt Christine didn't just cross it, she stomped all over it.
What exactly did she say?
In episode 6, Christine and Davina are shown speculating about the divorce, saying Chrishell is too guarded, suggesting her marriage always had problems.
Oof, that's rough.
And as soon as that aired, Twitter exploded, huge backlash. People were not okay with them dissecting Chrishell's heartbreak like that.
And it continued.
Oh, yeah. Episode 7, there's an office dinner, basically a bitch fest, led by Christine and Davina about the divorce. Davina even defends Justin Hartley, Chrishell's ex, saying he has to have a side of the story.
Even though she barely knew him.
Exactly. Which seemed incredibly insensitive. Mary shuts it down hard, says there are not two sides. The right side is Chrishell's side because she's our friend. A really powerful moment of loyalty.
Good for Mary.
Yeah. But this whole sequence shows that intense public scrutiny. Viewers were basically saying, okay, reality TV's one thing, but exploiting someone's real, raw pain, that's not okay.
That is a truly brutal sequence of events, and the insensitivity just jumps off the screen. And unbelievably, the drama even bleeds into Christine's own wedding day.
Yeah, her wedding, which was the big finale of episode 8, it was visually stunning. That black tulle gown, the swans, the fake snow, the whole Gothic winter wonderland thing. Pure Christine.
Yeah, feeling memorable.
But even there, the conflict follows. Davina, maybe completely lacking self-awareness, actually interrogates Chrishell at the wedding reception about both sides of the story with her divorce.
At the wedding, oh, come on.
Right, just incredibly inappropriate, really cast a shadow. But interestingly, Christine herself later said she was really disappointed with how the wedding episode turned out.
Oh, why?
She told People magazine she was crying when I watched it. Felt it didn't really showcase the way that it was. She said this was my day and I was just disappointed in the way it was perceived.
Huh. So even she felt the edit didn't match her reality.
Exactly. Which is fascinating, right? Even the master manipulator, the one seemingly crafting her own narrative, felt misrepresented by the final cut. Raises big questions about how much control these reality stars actually have.
That suggests a real disconnect, maybe a growing frustration between her experience and the show's portrayal. And the drama didn't stop when the cameras did, right? Those postseason revelations just added more fuel to the fire.
Oh, absolutely. The off-season was almost as dramatic as the season itself. June 2020, Christine goes on UK television this morning and admits something pretty major.
What was that?
She confesses she didn't meet Christian the way the show said she did by selling him a house.
No. How did you meet him?
Through a girlfriend who actually went on a date with him first, then suggested Christine date him instead. And Christine herself says this might explain the overlap they were talking about, referencing those earlier rumors.
Wow. Okay, so admitting the show fabricated her meet cute.
Pretty much. Highlighting the show's embellishments, but also her playing along with a narrative that wasn't quite true. Then, same month, June 2020, Chrishell publicly blocks Christine on Instagram.
Oh, that's a statement.
Huge statement. Calls Christine childish and ridiculous for her toxic insults and toxic energy. And Chrishell even hints she has screenshots that would be embarrassing for Christine if they came out.
Ooh, the plot thickens,
Yeah.
suggesting off-screen nastiness, too.
Exactly. Making it clear the conflict went way beyond what we saw on camera.
So Christine's now dealing with on-screen fallout, public criticism, admitting to show fabrications, and getting publicly blocked by a co-star. How did she react to all this heat, especially about being the villain?
Well, she addressed it directly. Also, in June 2020, she told Cosmopolitan UK that she felt production wanted me to be the villain, that they had a perception of me.
Playing the victim of the edit card.
A bit, yeah. But she also admitted she goes in and out of being okay with it, acknowledging some internal conflict there, maybe the toll it was taking. Then, July 2020, another revelation drops. She says on Goss Chats she actually had COVID-19 during her wedding.
What? Seriously?
Yeah. Said that's why she felt sick on screen, why she couldn't have a bachelorette. A detail kept totally quiet during the show's airing. Adds another layer, right?
Definitely. Makes you reconsider those scenes.
And also, in July, she starts openly talking about maybe leaving the show, told Metro it was hard working for a man, hinted she was talking to Davina, Maya, Heather about other options, said the show was really affecting their real relationships. Sounds like disillusionment was setting in.
Yeah, it sounds like she was feeling increasingly boxed in by the show, by that specific role she'd created or been given. But then she just couldn't resist poking the bear again, could she? Went right back to commenting on Chrishell's divorce.
It really became a pattern, didn't it? July 2020, she talks to Paige Sachs, dives back into Chrishell's divorce, saying things like, "We all just thought maybe they were having communication problems for a while," and claiming they had heard that they were in therapy.
Implying it wasn't a surprise, that Chrishell wasn't being totally honest.
Exactly. Undermining Chrishell's narrative again. And Chrishell's response on Twitter was immediate and furious. Called Christine's comments a complete lie, total conjecture, said Christine knows absolutely nothing about the situation and is obviously desperate to gain attention.
Ouch. Direct hit.
Totally direct. It just highlighted how toxic things had become between them, spilling out way beyond the show, forcing Chrishell to defend herself publicly against what she clearly saw as malicious gossip. And it showed Christine still willing to push those buttons for headlines.
Yeah. At this point, it's undeniable. Christine is operating on so many levels, on camera, off camera, in the press. She's creating drama, commenting on the drama, sometimes contradicting herself, all while trying to manage this image.
It's the perfect storm of reality TV, isn't it? It shows that incredibly tricky tightrope these personalities walk. They're pushed, or incentivized, to create drama for the show. But the line between the performance and who they really are gets so blurred. And the consequences are real. Damaged friendships, intense public hate or love, challenges to how people see them.
Did she try to counter the villain image directly?
Yeah, she did. July 2020, she tells Cosmo UK that people are always surprised to find out how nice I am in person. Describes herself as compassionate, loving, fiery, but also kind-hearted. A clear attempt to soften the image, add some nuance.
Okay. Trying to reclaim the narrative.
Exactly. But then, August 2020, she likes a tweet calling Chrishell a sad excuse of an actress.
Oh, Christine. Undermining her own PR move.
Completely. Reignited all the backlash. Chrishell again took a higher road, asked her fans not to attack Christine, even while appreciating their support. It just showed how hard it was for Christine to escape that antagonist role she'd perfected.
And the boundary pushing the media place.
Yeah.
That continued too, right? She seemed to enjoy being the one to break news, even if it wasn't hers to break.
Oh, for sure. She had a real knack for that. August 2020, she's the one who leaks that Brett Oppenheim is leaving the O Group to start his own brokerage.
Which was definitely not her news to share.
Nope. Showed her wanting to be in the know, control the story, grab headlines, regardless of professional courtesy. Then, September 2020, another bold claim. Tells people she was 100% responsible for Davina's fashion glow-up. Said she told her to stop with the mom blazers.
Chuckles, taking credit for the style evolution.
Totally. But Davina immediately shot that down to Cosmopolitan UK. Said she only borrowed some stuff, and Christine likes to take credit.
Ouch.
Yeah. So all these things, leaking company news, claiming fashion makeovers, just reinforce Christine as this master self-promoter, always controlling the narrative, even if it meant more friction and people calling her out for, well, maybe stretching the truth. It was relentless brand management.
Okay, so after all that, the nonstop drama, the blurred lines, the constant clashes, it really felt inevitable, didn't it? Her time at the Oppenheim Group and on Selling Sunset just seemed like it had run its course. Which brings us to her actual departure in 2022.
Yeah, that felt like a culmination, a really pivotal moment, not just for her character arc, but for the whole show's formula, really.
What were the official reasons given?
She officially left the O Group to launch her own company, Real Open, focusing on crypto real estate. Launched it with her husband, Christian Dumonte, who, is a tech guy, investor.
The crypto angle.
Exactly. She claimed the Oppenheim Group was wary about accepting crypto for deals, framed it purely as a business decision that was for me, said she terminated my contract when the brokerage launched to focus on her own thing.
And that Instagram post.
Oh yeah, the classic. Why work for someone else when you can be your own CEO? Perfect summary of her ambition, her desire for control, and maybe the friction she felt within the O Group structure in the show.
Definitely sounds like she was ready to be her own boss. But what about that villain role she'd played for so long? Did her view on that change as she was heading out the door?
It seems like it did evolve, yeah. Or at least how she talked about it changed. Initially, she had that famous line, she understood the assignment.
Great, give the world a show.
Exactly. But later, she expressed something more complex, said she didn't realize that people would think everything was real, and so that was a little bit hard. Hints at that struggle, the blurring lines, maybe the personal cost of the public perception.
And that whole reunion saga.
Oh yeah, the season 5 reunion, she skipped it, said she had COVID.
But then was seen shooting something else like 2 days later.
Yep. Seen shooting a campaign with Melissa Gorga from Real Housewives, which immediately made everyone speculate she'd faked having COVID just to avoid facing the cast at the reunion.
Did she deny it?
Vehemently. Went on Andy Cohen's show, Watch What Happens Live, and insisted, I absolutely did have COVID. I absolutely did. Her rep backed her up, saying it was out of an abundance of caution.
Leaves you wondering.
Totally. It became this final dramatic question mark in her Selling Sunset story. Perfectly encapsulated her complex relationship with the show, the cast, and maybe the truth itself.
It really does paint a picture of someone trying to navigate a very public exit while juggling all these complex personal and professional things, almost trying to wrestle back control of her own narrative. What did Jason Oppenheim have to say about it all? Her boss.
Jason was pretty blunt, actually. He said publicly there's no place for Christine at the brokerage right now.
Wow. Okay, why?
Cited her behavior, basically, and said she wasn't taking real estate seriously enough. He even laid out conditions for her ever coming back. She'd have to take real estate seriously, fundamentally change her behavior, and, crucially, bring in a big listing.
Setting a high bar, highlighting the professional damage.
Absolutely. But interestingly, Jason also said later that her exit came at just the right time. Suggested that people were tired of watching that dynamic continue season after season.
So acknowledging viewer fatigue with her specific brand of drama.
Seems like it. He even admitted producers had struggled, needing to bring in new cast members specifically willing to film with her because others wouldn't. That shows how difficult her presence had become internally.
Yeah.
And Jason even kind of lamented the show's direction overall, said he felt misled, wished it focused more on actual real estate, less on the personal drama.
That really speaks to that core tension, doesn't it? The network wanting drama, the cast wanting maybe more authentic professional portrayal, and Christine right in the eye of that storm.
Perfectly put. She embodied that conflict.
So Christine moves on, clearly driven, ambitious, looking beyond reality TV. What does she pivot to?
She made her ambitions pretty clear, talked about wanting to get back into scripted acting, even mentioned wanting a career path like Lady Gaga did, leveraging her platform, referenced her earlier acting gigs on shows like NCIS, Los Angeles, Ballers.
Signaling a move away from unscripted.
Definitely. Towards more controlled performances. She also signed with IMG models, started working with big fashion brands, released that book, How to Be a Boss Bitch.
Building her brand beyond Selling Sunset.
Totally. Diversifying, showing broader interests, that entrepreneurial spirit. And she made it very clear. No interest in watching new seasons of the show. Said she wanted to know her former co-stars for who they are and not what they're edited to be.
Drawing a firm line.
A very firm line. A source close to her basically confirmed it, saying she felt she had no place on the show anymore. Her priorities had shifted to fashion and building Real Open.
Which brings us back to that huge question. Can a show built so much around one central polarizing figure survive, let alone thrive, once they're gone?
Exactly. What happens to Selling Sunset without its queen of controversy? The fan reactions really tell that story.
Okay, so that is the million-dollar question. Christine leaves. Huge shakeup. How did the show actually fare in the seasons after she left? And crucially, what did the fans think? Did they miss her? Were they glad she was gone?
The fan feedback is so telling here. It reveals what audiences really value or miss when a personality like Christine exits. And overwhelmingly, fans felt later seasons, especially 7 and 8, were just disappointing.
How so? What were the main complaints?
Words like artificial, staged, overdrawn came up a lot. A real sense of a lack of authenticity. People called it a Barbie plastic and wannabe show, a terrible cringe setup.
Ouch. Strong words.
Very strong. That perception of fakeness, of obviously manufactured drama, especially post-Christine, really seemed to turn people off. It's like viewers felt the illusion was broken, you know? They started questioning what was real versus scripted, and they felt it tilted way too far towards scripted.
But it wasn't just a vibe change, it was fundamental. Did it affect how they saw the show's core premise, too?
Absolutely. A massive complaint was the show drifting away from its roots, luxury real estate.
Yeah, I've heard people say that.
So many comments saying the show is no longer about real estate, that the amazing houses just became fancy backdrops for repetitive drama. Viewers were saying, we want the deals, we want the negotiations, the problems. The original hook felt lost.
And the new cast members didn't fill the void.
Largely no, according to many fans. Newbies aren't interesting, incredibly bland. That was a common sentiment. Specific people got harsh criticism. Nicole Young was called out for having no identity, ruining the show, cannot mind her own business.
Wow.
Chelsea Lascani got labeled insufferable, pathetic. Bray Tisi and Amanda Smith were criticized for bad amateur acting, being ghetto, trying way too hard.
Rough crowd.
Tough crowd. Even Alana Gold, the newer agent with the yeehaw vibe, some found her overrated and boring. Though, interestingly, Mary Fitzgerald had a totally different take, called Alana smart, hardworking, elegant.
Shows how subjective it can be. But mostly negative on the newbies.
Mostly, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially in terms of bringing that compelling energy Christine had.
So the show struggled with authenticity, with focus, with new personalities. What about the drama itself? Did it still hit, or did it feel forced?
According to the fans, forced, painfully repetitive, uninspired. That was the overwhelming feedback. Complaints about the same rivalries, the same backstabbing, the same formulaic tension. One viewer summed up season 7 as just, "Oh my man, so you made the drama worse," repeated for 6 episodes straight.
Chuckles. Okay, yeah, that sounds draining.
Right. Season 8 storylines felt particularly manufactured, like that whole infidelity accusation thing involving Chelsea's husband and Emma Hernan. Fans criticized how the women reacted, saying Chelsea seemed more mad at the messenger than her own man cheating, felt scripted, illogical.
Yeah, that does sound contrived.
Even something really sad, like the funeral for Mary's dog, Nico, it somehow devolved into another argument. Mary herself said she was appalled by the behavior, that it should have been a time to mourn, not fight.
Turning a funeral into a fight scene. Yikes.
Exactly. It just felt like conflict for conflict's sake without real stakes or emotion. And that constant manufactured vibe really seemed to kill the show's spark for a lot of people.
It really sounds like Christine's role, whether she meant it to be or not, as that central antagonist, was just absolutely key to the show's early magic. Create a dynamic, a lightning rod effect that they just couldn't replicate after she left.
And what's so fascinating is how complex the audience reaction is to that villain role.
How do you mean?
People might say they hate the behavior, disapprove strongly, but they also admit they miss the entertainment value the villain brings. So many fans said it explicitly. "I miss Christine. The show is so boring without her."
So they miss the chaos she created.
Yeah. Some felt she and Heather carried the show. There's that idea that everyone loves to hate a villain, and that Christine just plays a great villain, almost appreciating the performance aspect.
Like she knew what she was doing.
Exactly. Some speculated the checks cleared when she became the villain, suggesting it was a deliberate choice for screen time, for money. Others thought maybe she lost control a bit, that the persona took over, became the villain off camera, or that the show amplified her insecurities.
Different theories on how real it was.
Right. Even Jason Oppenheim, while admitting dealing with her was exhausting because she couldn't get along with anyone, still acknowledged her talent for making compelling TV.
It really raises questions about reality TV production, doesn't it? The roles they encourage people to play.
Huge questions about the ethics, the pressure to constantly deliver drama, and how that pressure can totally warp a show's original concept, turning it into something else entirely.
So we've really tracked this whole dramatic saga. Christine Quinn. From that explosive entrance on Selling Sunset to her very calculated exit into new ventures.
Right, that's the journey.
We've seen how her feuds, that incredible fashion sense, her just complete embrace of being controversial,
Yeah.
how that defined the show for years, blurring those lines constantly between what's real and what's performance.
Undeniably.
And her departure clearly left a massive hole. Fans felt it. Even Jason Oppenheim acknowledged her impact on the show's entertainment factor and the struggles they had afterwards with that feeling of manufactured drama.
The void was real.
So, as we kind of wrap this up, thinking about Christine's path and how the show changed, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? In this crazy world of reality TV, maybe it is the villain who actually understands the assignment the best.
It's a provocative thought.
And what does it say about us, the viewers? That we
Yeah.
often crave that chaos, that confrontation, that unapologetic drama, maybe just as much or even more than we want to see the beautiful houses or the success stories.
Are we addicted to the drama?
Is the drama the real product being sold here? And if so, what happens when your star salesperson for that product just decides to pack up and leave the brokerage for good?
Leaves you thinking, doesn't it?